Hello guys amigos, WRO here. Today we are ranking the best bases for WRO, Robo Mission and Robo Sports. Bases are ranked by how hard it is to build, how effective it is, and how big the base is. The first base we have is the basic driving base. I like this base because it's super simple to make. It's pretty effective at what it does, but it has a little bit of size. The thing that keeps this base from being number one is that it uses a large motor. Now I have no problems with large motors, but it's just super big and slow. It's just not the best motor. Also watch my WRO motors rankings video so you get more info for the best motors for Robo Mission and Robo Sports. So this base is going to be tier. It's solid, but it's just not good enough. Next we have two side motor base thing. Now we have two variations of this base, so I'll start with the first variation, which is the side motors base with the brick to the side thing. This base is relatively good. It is surprisingly easy to make, and it's really effective because you can attach sensors to it really well and attach grippers and mechanics to this easily. This mechanic's best quality is probably its size. Even though it's really wide, the base trades wide with long. So if you want a base with a lot of storage in the front, this base is one of the best choices. Next base we got the same base but with the brick at this place. It's just a variation but without the size advantage. But the good thing about this is the battery is easier to change. But I do not think this is a worth trade. I am putting the base in mid, low A tier and the other base in high A tier. Next we have the tank base. This base is only good for some situations, and in other situations it's absolutely useless. A lot of bases are meant to do only one thing. But we're trying to find that base that does everything well, is easy to make and is not too big. This base sadly is the complete opposite of everything we want. It only does one thing well. It's not that easy to make. You need some specific things to make this robot. And it's super big. If you want to do a Robo Mission with this, I want to call you crazy. It does work for some tasks, but a large wheel can just do the same thing and probably even better. Large wheels are faster and can walk across a bunch of bricks. The only thing I think the tank has is it can climb steep land. And I do give that to this base as it's pretty effective at that, but at almost everything else it's just not that good. Speed? No, absolutely not. Size? No, absolutely not. A four-wheeled robot can practically do the same thing. It doesn't help that you need some weird mechanic to build this robot. I am putting this base as a mid, low B tier. There is one more base that I will give C tier. Next we have an amazing base, which is this blue framed base. I personally think this base is really cool because it's a good mix of basic, effective, and small. I wouldn't really call it small, but it's not that big. This is my favorite base right now. The design does though need a special spike prime frame, but if you get it, you're set for a lot of WRO seasons. This base is also really basic, as anyone can make it. I don't have a lot to talk about this base. I am giving a tier. Next one we got another not very good base. You probably wouldn't call this a base, but it's something. If you ever want to build a robot that just looks cool, then this is it. The legged robots. It has almost no use as each step is slow and sad. I do give it to the base though, it's pretty cool but absolutely bad for anything else. It especially doesn't help that this robot isn't that easy to make. The hard legs at least. These robot is also quite clunky and clumsy and may just fall over. Well, the ones that fall are mostly the ones that are tall, because if you didn't know, tall robots fall over. That's why sumo robots are flat and not very tall. Sumo robot video coming soon. This is easily C tier. And I am actually being very generous right now. As if now I have never put anything below C tier, and that says a lot. Okay, back to ranking bases. Last but not least we got ourselves the Omni-wheeled robot. Before you click off, yes, you can make an Omni-wheel for EV3. Not buy it, but make it, just search it up. This base is also another one-trick pony. Its special thing is that it can walk sideways without turning. But my arguments for these kinds of designs are that you need 3 motors for it. Yes, it's super good for a lot of things, but EV3 only has 4 motor ports, and to have 3 taken away means you only have 1 motor to grab things. Also, I didn't talk about how this awkward looking base makes it super hard to place mechanics on it. If you want to put a gripper on this base, you have to let a lot of space be wasted, and it's just going not be a good look. If you want to make a 4 motor Omni wheel base, then it's even worse because now you have no motors to do missions with. If this is anything else like Arduino, then it's fine, but for EV3 it's not good at all. But I do have a use case for it though. If Spike Prime adds a port extender making it 8 ports, then I think Omni wheel may be worth using. Because you can do 3 motor, 2 mechanics and 3 sensors. 2 sensors for tracking and 1 for checking. Even still, this is super awkward. The program is also very hard to do, and there's a lot of other bad things about the Omni wheel. I think it's a great base for everything else but EV3. I am going to put this in low B tier. Because of course it's still better than this walking robot. That's it for today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one.